Hello friends, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the rapture, and I'm going to be sharing a dream that I had with you that made me think of the rapture. And also my niece had a dream that was very similar, and my sister had the forethought when her daughter came in the room in the middle of the night, woke her up, I had a bad dream. My sister had the forethought to grab her phone and record her. So I'm going to share that with you as well. This kind of makes me think of a dream that I had a couple years ago about a grid in the sky, and birds were on this grid and they were turning into demons and they were coming to earth and basically tormenting people on the earth. And I'll leave a link to that somewhere up here, and you can click on that if you haven't watched that video. I also wanted to talk to you about the rapture itself, that I feel like nobody's really talking about. I haven't heard anybody talk about these things that's going to happen immediately after the rapture. I haven't heard anyone say anything about it. So I'm going to give you the shortened version of my dream. I don't want to go into a lot of detail. It was a very scary dream for me. So I'm always a little bit hesitant about sharing my dream because, and I've shared a few, but I've had people question that believe just a little bit different. One person even asked me, do you think you're a prophet or something? And I don't think that I'm a prophet, but I had to wonder when that was said, what would be so wrong with that? If somebody is, people need to be more encouraging and not so discouraging. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and share my dream. In my dream, I was at my dad's house visiting, and we had went like maybe across the street. It was near his house. There was like a community center or like a pool hall or something. There was a lot of people in there, and it was dark. There was no lights on. It was dark in there. And a lot of the people were turning into demons. I'm making this dream short for you. They were just very scary, very, very scary looking. They were very focused on us. I was trying to not make eye contact with them. And they were very like hyper animated, hyper excitable, and aggressive. And they were actually, a lot of them were moving rhythmically. I don't know how to describe that. When I told my sister about this dream, she said that reminded her of the movie The Cell. Okay, correction, it's just Cell, not The Cell, and it's about cell phones and people changing, which I have watched that movie. But yeah, kind of like a hive mentality. They were moving rhythmically, but very hyper and aggressive, and even towards one another. And I knew that I had minutes, literally minutes, to get to my mother's house, and it was maybe about a block away as the crow flies, but I would have to go around the block. So I just had minutes before all of the rest of the people changed to demons as well. And the ones that had already changed to demons and were kind of moving rhythmically, they would be loosed. So I was at the door. I started, me and a small group of people with me, we started running as fast as we could, and we had to go through like a garden center or something, like on a side of a grocery store. Sometimes garden centers have like a gate that you can go through. You don't have to go through the store. You can just go through the gate to get into the garden center. And I was running for this gate to get through to the other side to get to my mother's house, because it was like she lived behind there or something, on the street behind. And there were some people there that were turning into demons, and they were kind of blocking the doorway. And a woman that was turning into a demon was very focused on me and was very excitable and very like hyper animated and aggressive. And one of the women that was with me told me and the rest of us, run, I'll hold them back. And we just ran as fast as we could. The woman that was turning into a demon was right on my heels, and she was trying to trip me up, and she was yelling at me, because I could hear. I'm not going to describe what I could hear. It was very gory, very intense, and it was what they were doing to the woman that told us, run, I'll hold them back. It was basically, you can imagine lions ganging up on and attacking a prey. That's basically what was happening, and I could hear it. And the woman that was turning into a demon that was right on my heels was yelling at me the details. She was narrating, this is what they're doing, and this is, she was trying to trip me up by telling me these things. And I knew that if I turned around or looked back, I would trip and fall. And just on that note, that is just in life in general. If you keep looking back at the past, you're going to trip and fall because you can't see where you're going. You need to keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on Jesus and keep moving forward. Don't look back. I have struggled with this. So that's what that part made me think of. So I made it to my mother's house and slammed the door shut. The woman that was turning into a demon, at that moment, it was like all hell broke loose outside of the house. All of the people changed and into demons. The world changed in an instant. But they couldn't get into the house. The house was covered in the blood of Jesus, and the door was shut. And that's where I'm going to end the dream. The dream did go on a little bit more, but I do want to say I couldn't go back to sleep for a couple hours after having this dream. It was very real. It was very scary. And I prayed about it. I feel like it made me think of the story in the Bible about the 10 virgins. 5 were wise, 5 were foolish. When the bridegroom came and the 5 wise went in and into the wedding supper with the groom, the door was shut and no one could open it. That is an example of the rapture. When the 5 wise, the wise Christians, those that are true brides, will be taken and the door will be shut. And once that door is shut, it's shut. It cannot be opened. I can see it just in life in general, maybe you can too, people seem to be changing.
Like these things with like no faces, and it was the end of the earth. And they was like coming down to earth to like hurt the people that was on earth, and there was like demons kind of. And before God came to pick up the other people. So he was in Grandpa's house hiding in the pitch black dark. Because the creatures couldn't actually in the light because creatures don't like the light. And that dream. And that's like the end of the story.
The end of the dream?
Yeah.
Even like in my niece's dream, it was very similar, And I will say, this isn't a house. She doesn't live in a home that there's a lot of talk about this kind of stuff. So her having a dream like that was not because it's being talked about a lot in their home. Demons coming to the earth, it kind of like the grid in the sky, that dream, the demons coming to the earth and God coming to take his people. When the rapture happens, just like the story of the 10 virgins, not all of them went. And that's going to be the case when the rapture happens. Not everybody who claims to be a Christian is going in the rapture. And there's going to be people who say that wasn't the rapture because I'm still here. See what I'm saying? I've not heard anybody talk about that, but there are going to be people, lots of people who we look up to, who appear godly, who appear as they should have gone in the rapture. And they're going to say, whatever just happened, where all these people disappeared, that wasn't the rapture. That's what they're going to say. And a lot of people are going to believe it because these are godly people that should know. But in reality, they might know in their heart, that was it and I missed it. But they won't admit that out loud. They're going to say that wasn't the rapture because their pride doesn't want people to think, to know they missed it. They really weren't ready. They were talking, but they weren't walking what they were talking. That's definitely something that we all need to keep in mind. And secondly, just like in my dream, everybody changed after the door was shut. Everybody changed. And that is what is going to happen. And maybe they aren't going to change into demons, but the Spirit of God is going to be taken out of this world when the rapture happens. God's people are going to be taken, and the Spirit of God, the Holy Spirit, is not going to be here. The Holy Spirit is what convicts people, not condemns, but convicts to repentance. If the Holy Spirit is gone, people are going to be different. I can see people changing already, just like in my dream. Even though it was minutes before, people were already starting to change. And I can see that in the world. I can see people becoming more open with their aggression and hate and violence. And, something that I want to say also is this world romanticizes demons and vampires and werewolves, and especially, this is October. There's a lot of movies on TV, and how often are demons and vampires and werewolves and demonic things romanticized and even made into a love interest in movies. In reality, love, God is love. The devil is the opposite of God. He is hate. In reality, there is no love or empathy or trust or loyalty or compassion from demons. That's what people are going to resemble. They may not turn into demons like they did in my dream, but the characteristics I think that people are going to have after the rapture. So there's not going to be love. There's not going to be empathy. There's not going to be loyalty or compassion. It's going to be like wild animals being let loose in society. And, you read the book of Revelation, and that's basically what it tells us. Society is going to change. I think a lot of people think the first half of the tribulation after the rapture is going to be peace on the earth, and that's not what the Bible says. Yes, the Antichrist is going to sign a peace treaty, but that the Bible doesn't say the whole world is going to be at peace. It doesn't say that. If you actually look at it, it says that the first half of the tribulation is the wrath of Jesus. It's going to be wrath poured out on this world. That's not peace. That doesn't equal peace. The second half will be the wrath of God. There is no peace. There's not going to be a peaceful period during the tribulation. As soon as the rapture happens, just like in my dream, as soon as that door was shut, all hell broke loose. And it was chaos, and it was murder, and it was hate, and it was violence. We need to be ready, because just like in my dream, it was just minutes. It was minutes. When you see these things happening, we know that the end is near. There are going to be prominent Christians that we see on TV, that we see in churches, that are going to say, that wasn't the rapture. But it was. They missed it. So anyway, I hope you find this video helpful, and I hope you pray on it. I don't want you to just listen to me. I want you to pray on it. I want you to be ready. I want you to think about these things and be ready. Prepare yourself. You have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.